In this video, I'm going to show you how to drive a vehicle that has no Synchromesh. So before we jump into it, I was going to say before we crash into it, bad turn of phrase. So what is Synchromesh? Synchromesh, tiny little gears that bring the two shafts of the gearbox up to speed so the gears mesh really nicely. It's completely transformed the way cars drive, made it much easier. In this, I've got to do a few tricks to stop the gears crunching. So I have to manually align those shafts as best I can. So we'll wait for a gap in the traffic and we shall pull away in this beautiful little Autobianchi. To the feet as I change gear here with double-declutch. And that just allows the gearbox shafts to adjust their speed so we don't get a crunch. If I just change gear like a normal car, it will crunch. Coming back down the gearbox is even more difficult. We'll get to that in just a moment. So Synchromesh on classic cars, very often not fitted to first gear. I think it was hard to make it robust enough to cope. But when this car was built in the 1960s, it was very unusual to have no Synchromesh at all. But even into the 80s, cars like the Citroen 2CV, I think the Fiat-500-based and a few other oddities still lacked a first gear Synchromesh. To bring my speed down a little, I'm going to go for a down change. We flip the throttle, double dip the clutch, and we get a nice smooth-ish gear change. Back up the gearbox, and nice and smooth again. It's a skill you have to learn, you have to perfect it. But if you're used to driving old cars, it's a skill you probably have. A bit more engine braking here, 3 pedals. There we go, I'm braking, accelerating and using the clutch all at the same time. These pedals are perfectly laid out for that. With a heel and toe, you can operate all 3 pedals. Even I don't always get it right, but you certainly know when you've got it wrong. Things get very crunchy indeed. So you don't need the rev match going up the gearbox because the engine revs will naturally drop away. It's just on the downshifts you need to try and get the engine to where it needs to be. It's a similar skill to changing gear without a clutch pedal. The art of rev matching. It really is quite a tricky one to master. It's a bit easier in the higher gears. So going back down to third, I can do quite nicely. Oh, we're going to need second? Yeah. There we go. Now a lot of people are put off Fiat-500s because of this. You can fit the 126 gearbox which has Synchromesh, certainly on second, third and fourth. I can't remember about first. But for me this is very much part of the charm of this platform. It is having to learn how to use this gearbox. And it's so joyous when you get it right. So there you go, that was just a video a bit about no Synchromesh and double-declutching. Hope you enjoyed that, and we shall see you in a future video. Farewell.